All right, Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. This is Anabolic Academy. This is the part of the show where you send me questions, I answer them. You could send me them on Instagram, Serious and Silliness. You could send me them to my email, John_Olivia@Yahoo, or email me at my other email, UncleJohn1201@gmail. You'll have to bear with me a little bit. I am feeling a little under the weather, but I have to say you got a sneeze coming up. But we're going to get Anabolic Academy done and out there to answer all the questions. So why don't we just start? We'll start with some of the Instagram questions. Let's see. Okay. So this is from Billy Del Russo on Instagram. Starting out on a new fitness nutrition journey, where to start, the basics. All right. So, yeah, the basics. When I tell people to start, if they want a bodybuilding journey, if you will, I tell people to do push-pull legs 3 times a week. Start out 3 times a week. Get yourself a basic push-pull leg, right? Push would be tries, chest, shoulders. Pull would be buys and back, and then legs. Like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make smart food choices. Get yourself good nutritional supplements, and, on pretty much on your way. Anything else in detail, then I'd have to go into how basic are you? What is your health? And what's your... are you severely overweight? Are you just trying to get in shape? Are you just trying to get back into bodybuilding? Are you more into fitness than bodybuilding? That all matters, right? Because then we have to construct your workout and your nutrition around that, right? But if it's just a basic bodybuilder, 3 days a week, push-pull legs to start off with, and make smart food choices, all good, nutritious foods, and start from there. Do your cardio, drink your water, so on and so forth, supplements. Your basic supplements, your 1-a-days, your vitamin C, your, whey protein, blah, blah, blah. Next question from Billy DeRusso. What would be your best advice for someone just starting out? Kind of like the same question answered twice. That would be my best advice. Don't overdo it right away. Slowly go into it. If it's a bodybuilding journey, then it would be, like I said, push-pull legs, blah, 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 blah. What I just answered. That would basically be it. He also had one other question, Billy DeRusso. If he finished a cycle in late October, when is the next cycle that he could start? The minimum would be, I would do 8 weeks. So if you do you're way ahead of the game. So you could jump on whenever you want at this point, right? If you want to do another cycle. But 8 weeks is always the minimum. Make sure you do your PCT, your Clomid, your HCG, and for 4 to 6 weeks, then you're basically doing nothing for the next 4 weeks, and then you can go back on your next cycle. So because by this point, your receptors are clear, everything's clear, it's all out of your system. And if it is now January and you finished your last cycle in October, when you go back on, dude, it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks because it's been so long. So that's always a good idea, to keep a long period of time, at least once a year, right? 8, 12 weeks in between. You always want that one, you get your blood work done during the time, make sure you're healthy, make sure everything's good, and then you can go back and do the next cycle. All right, next question from Fran is the man. What was the biggest bodybuilding story of 2023? Off the top of my head, I don't know, maybe Derek Lunsford beating Hadi Choopan for the Olympia, maybe, because then he got death threats from, Hadi's fans. That was always great. I know Nexzilla, that was pretty big. Of course, me and Nathan Diasha dispute, that was pretty big. Not really, maybe in my head, but off the top of my head, that would probably be it. I mean, if I'm forgetting something, just hit me in the comments, because I'm doing this off the top of my head right now. I didn't do a lot of research. Next one. Who is your go-to person to help you shave your body hair in hard reach places when you competed? My wife, of course. That would be it. The only place that she did not shave was in between my butt crack. But I figured out a system with Nair and a shower and a washcloth. I took care of that. Next question from Fran is the man. Are you more proud of your accomplishments as a bodybuilder or social media influencer? I guess social media influencer. I mean, I got to interview Jay Cutler, one of the greatest bodybuilders ever. I got to interview Linda Murray. I've gotten to interview Branch Warren. I've gotten to interview Johnny Jackson. I mean, you go down the list. I've made friends, Phil Clayhar and Jason Owens, Jose Raymond. I know I had a falling out with muscular development, but when they called me to go on, that was a big moment for me, because muscular development was part of my childhood growing up, right? It was like wow, I can't believe they want me to be on there, even though they were on the downside. It was still you know, somewhat of an accomplishment for me, but that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, listen, as a bodybuilder, I was okay. I never got past the NPC level. You know, I never went to the nationals or anything like that, or a national qualifying show. I mean, or a national level show, rather, I should say. So being a social media influencer, you know, and even on my other channel, I mean, I got to interview Run DMC. I got to interview Tom Sizemore before he died. And that's just huge. You know, that's just really, really big interviews I've done. And a lot more that I can't. Oh, I interviewed, oh God, who's the MMA guy? Oh, Jesus, I can't remember what his name is. I can't remember what his name is. I got to interview UFC legend Forrest Griffin. You know, that's to me, that's a tremendous accomplishment that I got to interview these people, right? Next question. Franz the man. How would Bob Paris and Frank Zane do if they competed in classic physique today? They'd get destroyed. The guys are so far ahead of the guys back then. They're so much more advanced. If you took Bob Paris and Frank Zane from that era and their bodies, they wouldn't even be pro. If you took them and trained them today, like a modern classic physique bodybuilder with today's nutrition and today's technology and today's theories, then I could possibly have an argument making a better version of what they were and be competitive today. But to take their prime and throw them in today, no. Listen, the only guy you could do that with, as far as I'm concerned, is Ronnie Coleman. Like Ronnie Coleman, you could literally put in any era ever right now, he would still be Mr. Olympia, period. All right. But the guys, generally speaking, and this goes for all sports, generally speaking, the athletes get better and better and better with every generation. And so, no, I don't think those guys would do very well in classic physique today. Let's see. Okay. I have an email. Well, not an email, but a DM from Robert Gabriel. His question is, let's see, Uncle John, thank you. Recommendations for a breathing cadence on heavy sets. Well, I mean, I have tendencies of holding my breath during heavy failures. Well, I mean, you just have to think, right? I mean, you have to, you got to breathe in your nose through your mouth and breathe in on when you're bringing the weight down, if you will. And when you're pushing, breathe out. Or same thing if you, or the reverse for, pulling, right? If you're doing back in through your nose, out through your mouth on the pull, right? Right, that kind of thing. I mean, you just have to, you have to make a mental note of it and think of it and then do it. That's all it really is. It's all I did that too when I was younger. I had a problem with, I remember I would hold my breath and guys would be spotting me going, breathe, you got to breathe. And I was like, oh shit, yeah. Do you have a preference or notice any difference in muscle look or density depending on what rep range you train in? I always trained in the 6 to 8 rep range, failing somewhere in there and have been successful. Recently, over the past couple of months, I've been pushing the range up to the 12-15 rep range and have enjoyed the change. What rep range you prefer, and do you think the rep range creates different looks? And yeah, I mean, it probably does. I mean, what you want to do is do heavy weight for a lot of reps, if that makes sense. So you want to get to the 12-15 rep range, but with heavier weight. Now, obviously, the only way to do that is to push yourself, right? So you want to stay in the 12-15 rep range. And will there be a different look to your muscle? Yeah, because you're really putting the strain on the muscle when you get to 10, 12, 15 reps. And especially if they're forced reps, if they're drop sets, if you're training past failure, beyond failure, you're going to get, over time, your muscle fibers, basically, when you're young, your muscle fibers kind of lay like this, right? Over time, your muscle fibers with all the training and heavy lifting and the banging and all the reps, they kind of come out like that. So when you get leaner, you could see the muscle fibers better through the skin. That's called muscle maturity. Like the best example I could give you is Heidi Chupin versus Derek Lunsford. Derek Lunsford has very young muscle, where Heidi has this very older, mature muscle, and you could see the difference because you could see in Heidi's muscle, you could see the fibers much crisper than Derek's, and that's only because Derek is so much younger and hasn't been training as long. Derek, odds are, will get there and have that same look Heidi will, but it takes time. When I do push myself and I want to push weight, and I only want to get 4, 5, 6 reps, I immediately do a drop set so that I continue getting blood in the muscle and forcing the muscle to grow, because 4 to 6 reps is really not enough for that muscle to grow. But you kind of have to push yourself in order to push heavier weight. So obviously, before you get to that, let's say, 4 plates for 12 reps, you're only getting 6. Until I get to that point, I immediately do a drop set, right? So like if I only get like, let's say I'm benching 4 plates, I don't know, for God's sake, and I only get 4 reps out of it. I'll take the plate off or 2 plates off, and I'll do 2 plates, and I'll just rep it out and till failure. And that enables me to stimulate the muscle even more. And at the same time, pushing the weight so that I could get used to that weight, and hopefully that weight will be able to get to the 12, 15 rep range. I follow a Palumbo type keto diet when cutting. My body seems to really respond well to the higher fat, higher protein diet. I was wondering what you thought of instead of pushing carbs up to increase calorie in a bulk, pushing fats up until raising caloric intake to put size on. What do you think of the idea? My personal opinion for a keto diet is great for losing body fat and for pre-contest diets. My body always reacted more to the carbohydrate manipulation. So I would do like 3 days low, 1 day high, 3 days low, 1 day high, that kind of thing. When you're bulking, I always increase carbohydrates. If I find myself getting like too fat, then I'll pull the carbohydrates a little bit, or I'll increase the cardio. But as far as bulking, you need to include your carbohydrates as far as I'm concerned. Maybe somebody else has a better opinion, but if I want to get leaner, then I drop the carbs. So the keto diet is great for losing weight and losing body fat. But to put muscle on, you need those carbohydrates, because, carbohydrates is what fuels the muscle too. You get a great pump when you have carbs in your body. The keto diet is only something you really do for a limited amount of time to keep yourself sane anyway, right? As far as I'm concerned. And last part of the question for Robert Gabriel. What do you think of the bodybuilding fashion brands you see today in the gyms, like Young LA, Wolves, Gasp, versus old school? I really don't give a shit. If it fits you and you like it and whatnot. I don't jump on the trends. I still wear Nike and Adidas to the gym. My sweatshirts, some of my sweatshirts are like Fruit of the Loom sweatshirts from Amazon. I don't give a shit. Like this shirt is a friend of mine who has a clothing company. He used to anyway. He doesn't anymore. He doesn't make them anymore. But this was Team Savage. It's a friend of mine, and he sent me these shirts. So I wear them. He doesn't make them anymore, but I wear them, and I would wear them to the gym, wear them on here. The Zubis crazy wear, like that was kind of like I never wore that stuff, the big baggy stuff. Plus, it was a little bit before my time. It was most like the late 80s, early 90s. And I wasn't in the gym scene yet. I was still in like middle school, high school by that point. But the Gaspari stuff is good. I don't know what Young LA is, but I usually buy Monster, MONSTA. You could buy them on Amazon. They're a workout gear, and they have all different types of shirts and whatnot. Like I'll wear a sleeveless shirt with a hood, and it's light, and you can wear it in the summertime because I prefer putting a hood up when I'm working out. And Monster wears them. I have them all different colors and stuff. I prefer that. But listen, man, as long as you don't smell in the gym, I really don't care what you wear. Don't get me wrong. Let me rephrase that. The Crocs and the pajamas, that annoys the shit out of me. At least put on sweatpants and sneakers and stuff. That's just like, what's next? We're gonna wear diapers and fucking, underwear to the gym. You're gonna wear Depends because you just don't feel like taking a shit. That's how lazy you are. It's that's ridiculous. But as far as the brands, as long as you're comfortable and you don't smell and you're clean, I don't really care. Whatever. As far as I don't know, I do. All right. When I see certain people wearing Gasp or these name brands for bodybuilding, it almost kind of like seems like you're trying too hard. Like, look at me, I'm really a bodybuilder. I wear Gasp, and it's like, you know what? You're really not there yet. Stop trying so hard. You could wear a Nike shirt, Adidas, Champion, Russell, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. Anyway, I'm sorry that one was quick, but I'm feeling a little under the weather. I'm going to go actually relax because I got to record Muscle Talk tonight. And that will be with Phil Clayhar and Dorian Haywood. They will be joining us. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I hope everybody had a happy new year and a Merry Christmas, and the holidays are over. 2024 hopefully will be the year of enlightenment and the year of serious and silliness bodybuilding taking off. And remember, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you go to the latest content. Thank you. And until next time, later. Peace.